Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Here in just a bit, I'm about ready to hit the road and check out the latest in the Transformers franchise, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. What is the plot of this movie? Well, it seems the Transformers, the Autobots, meet up with a new Transformer that's been on Earth for a very long time, just laying around being dormant, and that is the Manimals. And together with forces from Earth, they're going to take on Unicron, the planet-devouring Transformer. And of course, the Decepticons, and I honestly don't remember the name. Was it the Predacons? Was that the Beast Wars? Okay, well anyways, I'm going to say the Predacons. They're going to team up with the Decepticons, I'm guessing Unicron also, and they're going to take on the forces of Earth along with the Autobots, Manimals. Anyways, it looks like it's going to be a big old CGI boombastic blast. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. It just, it's a Transformers movie. Of course it's going to have tons of action, lots of CGI robots, and looks like a lot of fun from the trailer. I am stoked to see this film, however. I am a fan of the Transformers series, not necessarily all of the Transformers movies, but just the Transformers in general. I grew up with them. My kids then, they played with the Beast Boy toys, I remember buying those for Christmases and birthday presents and so on and so forth. Beast Wars, Transformers, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, Transformers has been a big part of my life for a very long time, and I'm really excited to see where this series is going. I really enjoyed 2018's Bumblebee. I thought that was a really good way to get a kickstart back into the series, and that's something else too. Come to find out, now I was under the impression that Bumblebee was a complete and total reboot, and they were just going to be like wiping the slate clean with this movie. No, apparently Bumblebee and this Transformers Rise of the Beast are actual prequels to the Michael Bay films. So yeah, that's kind of interesting actually. And then if you watch the Michael Bay movies, it's kind of weird because I just recently went back and watched a lot of them once I found this out, because like I said, I thought that this was a complete and total reboot of the series, and in reality it's kind of what would be called like a soft reboot. And I like the fact that they're going back and doing it in like a prequel style. We know these characters are going to be okay for the long haul. It's okay. Autobots generally make it out unless it's an animated film, because Hasbro wants to start a new line of toys, so they said kill them all in the most brutal fashion you possibly can. Okay, you know what? Enough about my childhood trauma. It is time for me to get out the door and check out the latest in the Transformers series, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Welcome back, just getting home. And guys, let me tell you, this movie's a lot of fun. It really was a very enjoyable film, but it's far from a perfect movie. So let's dive in, shall we? Alright, as I like to do, we're going to get things started with the negatives and then start the positives so we can end everything on the ever so important high note. Okay, so right out the gate, the first thing I want to address is the fact that I don't feel we get to spend enough time with the Transformers in this film. And this this is a complaint I have with the Michael Bay films also. We spend way too much time with the human characters and not enough time with the Transformers. We don't really get to know their personalities, their characters. They just have quips, and this is the fat guy with the big gun and he makes quippy little jokes. This is the fast, speedy dude and he talks fast. And that's kind of the way the Michael Bay Transformer films went. It's like Optimus Prime had characterization, Bumblebee had a little bit of characterization, and then everybody else was blobby CGI. However, this film does throw in some characterization in the Transformers a lot better than the Michael Bay film. I just felt like we spend way too much time with the human characters and not enough time getting to know our Transformer friends. Now, that does not mean that the human characters suck by any means. In fact, they do an outstanding job. And when we are focused on the human characters in this film, it doesn't slow the movie down or anything like that. They're not boring characters, and they drive the plot of the film just fine. And their acting is also just fine also from the actors. Anthony Ramos, he plays Noah, our main character, and also Dominic Fishback, she plays our other lead character. And they do an outstanding job, they really do. The acting is not the issue whatsoever, and their characters are interesting. It's just that, guys, I paid to see a Transformers movie. I want to see some more Transformers. And another complaint I have about the not enough Transformers, not enough of the Beast. Sure, they're there, and yes, you hear their, you see some of them, and some of them talk, and the others are just there, like the rhinoceros guy, whose name I can't remember, but anywho, the rhinoceros guy shows up, and I don't even think he has a line. The cheetah dude, I remember buying him for my son way back when, but the cheetah dude, he shows up, I think he says, "Hello, Optimus Prime," or something like that. It's probably someone that they paid an obscene amount of money for that one line. Or not. Maybe it was a voice actor getting a paycheck. I'm not sure. Because, like I said, the character has like one line. It could have been voiced by Al Pacino. It could have been voiced by anybody. Who knows? I don't. I'm sorry. And that's the problem with this movie. We don't get to know the Transformers, any of them at all. Or at least not enough. Now, we do get to know one of the Transformers, and that's pretty cool, and that is Mirage, who is voiced by Pete Davidson. And honestly, I really enjoyed his performance, and so did the audience. Everybody seemed to really react with the character Mirage was on the screen. Everybody laughed, they enjoyed the character. There was a lot of fun to be had there. He's definitely the Bumblebee of this movie, and he's mostly what you get from the Transformers. Throughout the entire film, you get mostly Mirage. Everyone else kind of takes a back burner, which is cool because we get to know a different Transformer, but I was kind of hoping that we could get to know the Beast Wars characters a little bit better. Okay, now let's move into the positives, because that seriously is the only thing that annoyed me in this film, and I shouldn't even call it annoyance. I'm going to say a nitpick, to be perfectly honest. Like I said, both of our leads, both of those characters are really interesting characters. It's just that I paid to see a Transformers movie, not a Noah and Elena film, and that's okay, because we do need the humans there so that we have somebody that is our eyes and ears in this film. We follow them through their adventures. We understand and, we can identify with them because they're human beings. We're not giant robots. I completely understand the usefulness and the need for human characters. But we overdid it a little bit with this one, but that's okay. Again, doesn't ruin the film whatsoever, doesn't drag it down. Now on to the positives. Number one, let's talk about the pacing. I keep talking about the human characters, and also the pacing of this film, outstanding. Honestly, the film just flies by. It's like it starts and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, we're at the climax, aren't we? We're at giant CGI bombastic land time. It really flies by. This film comes in just over 2 hours long. I want to say 2 hours and 7 minutes. So it's a good tight film, and it is action packed. Now, the action sequences, very well done, very well choreographed, and they look great. The action sequences in this film is really where everything shines. That leads into the special effects and the CGI. My God, the CGI in this film is beautiful. beautiful. Yes, there is probably parts that you can bitch and moan about. I'm sure there is. Unfortunately, I didn't see them. So if you can point them out to me, that's fine. I will accept your opinion. Other than that, this film is gorgeous. It's bright. It's in your face. It's loud. The characters look like they are on screen. That's my biggest complaint with CGI, is that they don't look like they're there. Like they're a part of everything that's supposed to be around them. And this film's special effects meld the CGI in with the people that are on the screen beautifully. There's plenty of points that I sat there and stared at grass and all just to see if the grass bent under the robot's feet as they were walking by. And sure as shit, it did. The transforming sequences look outstanding. I like watching them changing from their different transformations and vehicles and whatnot. It looks really good in this movie. So yes, the special effects are on point. The acting is ridiculously good. As I said, I really enjoyed the characters in this. The human characters were great. I just wish we had a little bit less of them and more of the Transformers. And you could have just incorporated more of the Transformers with the humans. You could have done more of a 50-50 thing, but again, I digress. I'm nitpicking. Don't worry about it whatsoever. All in all, this film is great. And one last thing. The soundtrack to this movie is super amazingly awesome. If you are a fan of early 90s rap, hip-hop, and R&B, you are going to love the soundtrack. Hell, the first song we hear in the film is Wu-Tang Clan doing Cream. We move into Black Sheep. We got LL Cool J. I think I heard some De La Soul in this movie. It's really good. So if you're down with the East Coast rap scene of the early 90s, you're going to dig this. Oh, Biggie. Definitely some Biggie in this movie. So yeah, outstanding soundtrack, great acting, the character design, beautifully on point. Another big complaint I've always had about the Michael Bay films in particular, I can't stand the Transformer design. They all kind of just look like big metal silver blobs, and only the characters that we're supposed to like have any personality or color to them whatsoever. This movie is not like that at all. The characterization, when you get to know the Transformers, are great. The ones that they chose for you to like, you get to know. But every one of them looks outstanding. Even the sub-characters look very, very well done. The special effects, outstanding, great movie. This is something that I have to say, definitely get out there, check this movie out in theaters. I saw this on what's called the Prime screen at AMC, which is pretty much like an IMAX level screen, but then it has just a huge sound system, like even to the point where like your chairs rumble and stuff like that. So honestly, that is the way this movie needs to be seen, on the big fat IMAX in the 4K super high definition. Just take in the absolutely gorgeous special effects, because this film is what summer blockbusters are all about. Getting you into some air conditioning, putting your butt in a seat, chowing down on some popcorn, and forgetting about all your goddamn troubles for about 2 hours. Okay, guys, well, that's all I have for you today. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.